Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Triggered Precision Machine. For today's episode, we're going to review an action that I got into the shop to evaluate last Saturday. I've had a few days to get my hands on it and mess with it and see what I like. And so far, I think that you guys will enjoy this. It's a really cool new option, and there's some benefits to what this company is bringing to the scene that I'll go over here in a second. To get right into it, the company that builds this is called Pristine Technologies. They are, first of all, based out of Canada, and second of all, they're relatively new to the bolt action scene. So this action was in R&D for about 2 years, and they recently started making it about a year ago. So it's, from what I understand, it's fairly popular up in Canada where they're based out of, but it really hasn't made it down here mainstream to the United States like your bread and butter brands like Defiance and Zermatt and Terminus. So what's really cool about this though, and why I like this company and their business model, is talking to one of their salespeople. They will get an action in my hands in 5 days or less, and just kind of prove that how awesome that is. So when I was talking to Joe, the sales rep up at Pristine, he said, "Hey, do you want an action to evaluate?" Absolutely. And I had this action at my doorstep in 3 days. I don't know of anyone else in the world that can do that right now. And as you guys know, my whole business model is shortening the lead times. We've talked about this several times, and this fits my business model perfectly, which is what really draws me to this product. So we talked about the company, kind of their origins. Part of the thing that makes them able to produce these actions is their manufacturing at scale. So they scale their manufacturing capabilities to suit the demand for their product, that's a standard business practice in manufacturing. That's what we're trying to get everyone here in the United States to do with these actions that are taking a year to get in your hands. Scale your manufacturing to suit the demand. So let's get right into it and let's open this thing up. I hate unboxing videos, but we're gonna do one today. So let's see what's in here and give you guys a look. All right guys, so here we are. We got a nice close up on the box. So let's get started and see what's inside. First thing you'll notice is the packaging is very nice. I don't know of another action on the market that comes with packaging this nice. And as you'll see inside, there's custom cut foam and everything. They went way over the top with the packaging on this and did a really good job. Just kind of a nice touch when you're buying a $1,000, $1,200, $1,300 action. They took the extra time to do that. Now let's open it up and see what is inside. So pop open the top flap, and again, the nice packaging continues. There's a nice picture at the top. We have a Pristine sticker right here and a piece of very dense, looks like 3/8 thickness foam or so that covers the top of the whole package. Then here are the goodies inside. That is a beautiful sight. You'll see three things in there right off the bat. We have the recoil lug. It's a pinned recoil lug. This action does not have an integrated lug or a rail, which I think is awesome. I don't like the fact that with some of the actions that I've had, I'm married to whatever MOA rail that they come with. Usually you can get by with that, and if you have to, you can buy a scope base that has more MOA cant into it, but it's just kind of nice to be able to change the rail out to whatever you want to suit the rifle cartridge or the type of shooting that you're doing. And same thing with the recoil lugs too. Depending on the cartridge, I might want to get a thicker recoil lug or whatever it may be, but it gives you the option to do that. And there's zero difference in accuracy or the performance of the action with the stuff that's just pinned on. So aside from the recoil lug, you will see the bolt here. Very nice bolt. We'll get a close-up of that in a second, and then we have the action down on the bottom. So let's take a look at the recoil lug first. So as you guys will see, there's a little pin there. That's to locate the recoil lug on the face of the action, so it is timed correctly for your bedded stocks and stuff like that. And it keeps the recoil lug clocked in the right direction when you torque the barrel on. So really nice feature. Cool that they did that. And looks like a precision ground recoil lug, about 1/4 inch thick, which is respectable. So that should do very nicely for all of these short action cartridges. Set that aside, and we'll pull out our bolt here. The bolt is very cool. It is a drastic change from your typical Remington 700 bolt, and there's a couple features that I can point out immediately. So it's technically a 6-lug, as you can see here, 6-lug bolt. So you have 2 rows of 3 lugs each, so 6 lugs total. Very cool. There's been a lot of debate about whether that's a good thing or not. I'm here to tell you that it doesn't matter. These lugs will get 100% contact, and the way it was described to me is our first 2 are guaranteed. The first 2 up the front are the thickest. They have the most meat in front of them for the support, and they are guaranteed to have 100% lug contact, which technically is all that we need. And eventually, as this action wears in, similar to a barrel breaking in, you're going to get the lapping of these other 2 lugs and the front lug, and you'll eventually have 100% contact on all 6 lugs, which is very cool. And there's a lot of actions out there like the Accuracy International, the Weatherby, that use a similar lug pattern like this. Up here at the front of the bolt face, you'll see there's 2 nice shiny ejectors there, and we have an M16 style extractor on the opposite side. And just from messing around with this thing, this bolt absolutely throws the brass out of it. So really cool, nice positive extraction and ejection, very nice. And another thing that's cool is the bolt heads are removable and interchangeable, so you can change the bolt face out for different cartridges. So the bolt body is pretty standard, got some light fluting there, and we have, looks like 3 vent holes right there on the top, as you'll see. And we can move back to our bolt handle. The bolt handle is pretty interesting. So this part is one piece, the body. The handle is threaded on, I believe. I haven't taken it off yet. But the bolt handle is actually held in place on the bolt body by a dovetail. So hopefully we can pick that up in the camera. If not, there you go, you can see it. So there's a dovetail there that the bolt handle fits on, and it's secured with a little Allen screw. Super cool stuff. I don't think this would ever give you any problems. Just make sure that thing is Loctited and torqued down, and you should be good to go. There's not a whole lot that goes on there. And we get to the back of the bolt shroud area, and this is pretty interesting. This totally diverts from the typical Remington 700 look, and I'll get a picture of this up so you guys can see it, because it's going to take a close-up. But there's actually a little bearing roller right here in the cocking piece that rotates around the back of the bolt, and it makes the bolt travel extremely smooth, which is important because that's what makes a bolt run fast and be enjoyable to shoot a lot. So they went all out for bolt smoothness and smoothness of bolt travel, and I think they did a really good job. And from what I can tell, just messing with the action right here in the box, or right here out of the box, it's very smooth. And I think it's just going to smooth out more when it's actually placed in a stock, and I can see what it really feels like without just holding the action in my hand. So we'll set the bolt aside and move on to our actual action. So here's our action. It's got a little thing of Pristine lubricant inside of it. It'll pop out. There we go. So the action is very nicely finished, very similar to any of the other big names out there. It's got a nice high polish finish. Engraving on the side of it here, their Pristine logo. A little reflective there, but it picks it up all right. There's some laser engraving on the opposite side. That's just the importer information. So these actions are imported from Canada by a company called Border View BV, and that's who I got it from. Let's see what else we got here. On the very top, you'll notice that there are the holes for our scope rail. And a cool thing about this is they use some pretty burly hardware to secure the scope rail, which can be a problem in some other actions that use weaker hardware to secure the scope rail. You will shear little screws, you'll shear the lighter pins, and I'll tell you what, it looks like we're using 1/8" pins on this, and the little screws look like they're at least looks like an 832, possibly number 10 machine screw. So they're extremely heavy, extremely durable. There's 4 screws and 1 pin in the front and 1 pin in the back. Very, very impressive that they took the time to do that, and they know what they're doing with that. We got a really nice, I've never seen a bolt release integrated like this before. Super well done, very clean, easy to use, nice and smooth. You're not trying to jog something fore and aft and push it in at the same time to get your bolt to come out. The back area of the bolt, or the action rather, looks pretty standard. The rear tang is kind of squared off. Doesn't have that typical rounded rear tang, but it should fit into any Remington 700 footprint stock very easily. And we have the same bolt holes right here for our action screws. And a couple other cool features about this action. This action is cut for AI or AW magazines. Awesome feature. I love running AW magazines, the double stack mags. They're short, they carry our nice 10 rounds very efficiently, and I've had really good luck and reliability with running those mags and the actions that will take it. So let's move to the front, and you can see pretty clear as day there on the face of the action. We have our little hole that locates our recoil lug. Once again, that's really nice, and I'll get a close-up of the inside of this, where the lugs are, where the lugs contact inside the action, so you can see kind of what that looks like. But overall, the machine work is really nice. It's well thought out. It seems very robust, and to me, that's pretty impressive. I think this thing weighs in at right around 33 ounces. I could be wrong, maybe plus or minus a couple ounces, but it's right in line with everything else that's out there on the market right now. So here are the 2 little stainless steel pins that are going to pin our scope rail onto the action. And here is our scope rail. I believe this is a 20 MOA rail, and it's actually manufactured by Pristine, and yep, 20 MOA. So that's pretty much industry standard, unless you're shooting ELR or something like that where you need a higher MOA base, and I'd have to talk to my sales rep and see, but I would imagine that they have other bases like 30 MOA or 40 MOA for the other guys. So really nice, nicely made, just like everything else, and pretty impressed. And that does it for the box. There's all the nice custom cut foam. Very nice job, guys. I'm very impressed. All right, guys, so bolt goes in the action, pretty standard to everything else, closes, and like I mentioned before, that little roller on the cocking mechanism makes this thing just butter smooth. I mean, it's very impressive. Very, very nice. So it looks to be, I was trying to see what kind of bolt throw we had, and it looks like it's, let me see. Okay, so we have a 90-degree bolt throw. That's standard for all the Remington stuff, especially 2 lugs, so that makes sense. The bolt in the Raceway feels very, very nice. I've got another action here from a brand that I'm not going to mention, but the bolt movement in the Raceway doesn't feel half as nice as this. The cocking effort is extremely smooth. There is zero, it feels like there's zero friction on it. I'm beyond excited to build this out, and this is going to be a 6 Creedmoor that I'm going to build, and I'm probably going to make a video of the build so you guys can see it step by step and kind of see where we go with that, how we do things in the shop, and should be pretty interesting. Pristine has been an awesome company to work with so far. Their sales rep in Canada he's awesome. Joe, thank you very much for sending this down. I appreciate it, and you guys having the faith in my company and sending this down for me to evaluate and build and beat up and try to see exactly what is what with this product we have here. And like I mentioned, you guys, I can get these in the shop in 5 days or less. They had this to me in 3 days, and once again, I don't know of anyone else who can do that right now, this entire industry. So good on them for figuring out that magic potion or magic spell to get their manufacturing standards right and manufacture to scale to support the customer demand. Really, really good stuff, guys. Trying to think if there's anything else. It's just a very nice action. All the machine work is great. and I don't see any reason why this thing wouldn't produce a rifle that would shoot just as good, if not better, than anything else out there. So you guys will see me build this. We'll try to go step by step, or at least catch the big portions of the build, like the chambering and maybe the tenon threading and maybe the muzzle threading and stuff like that. And we're going to put it in an MDT XRS chassis, and we are going to run it. Absolutely run this thing. So this will be another 6 Creed, like I said, and we are going to just absolutely run the piss out of it and see what it's made of. But great action, you guys. If you haven't looked into Pristine, check out their website and see what they offer. They're coming out with a long action version of this, and from what I understand, possibly late summer you should start seeing those things in the wild, and they're going to make them in multiple bolt faces, all the big stuff for the Magnums and even the Lapua bolt face, I believe. So awesome action, you guys. Super impressed. All right, guys, hope you thought that was as cool as I did. I get pretty excited about this stuff, especially when there's new things that I get my hands on that I've never even heard of before. It's pretty exciting, and this is a guy who eats, sleeps, and drinks all this precision rifle stuff, and I pride myself on knowing everything that's out there and keeping up with all the new stuff that's released to market. And lo and behold, I had no idea that this even existed. So I appreciate the guys from Pristine reaching out and having faith in me to evaluate the action for them and give them feedback. Really cool opportunity I have here. And I hope this works out, and I think it 100% will, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'd like to hear your guys' feedback on what you think about what you see here. I know that this is very limited. You're just seeing a video of the basic stuff, and we kind of went over some of the features, but check out Pristine's website and see what you think, and let me know. And if you guys want any rifles built with this action, reach out, let me know. I'm happy to build anything for you. On that note, we have been absolutely slammed this week. In fact, it's close to 11 o'clock at night right now. Worked all day, ran a couple errands for the shop, and got some things locked down that will show up in videos down the road. But suffice to say, this week has been busy. The last 2 weeks have been busy. We've knocked out an absolute ton of pistol sides, knocked out a couple more rifles, got more rifle builds coming that are going to be going down to the customers pretty soon. Shout out to Jeff at Rifle Guru down in Boise, Idaho. He had faith in the company, and we've been communicating back and forth and trying to have a sort of a symbiotic relationship where we throw business to each other and help support our local small businesses. And I'm building him a rifle for his customers to shoot in his training classes. Very cool. I appreciate the work, Jeff. Appreciate the faith you have in the company and what I can produce. I think you'll be very impressed. And likewise, I'd like to give a shout out to Pristine and our neighbors to the north up in Canada. Thank you very much for sending this down. Our Canadian neighbors up there support us quite a bit, and as long as we can keep anything in North America, I'm happy with that. And later on in the episode with the reloading series, you guys are going to see some stuff that was provided by more of our North American neighbors up in Canada. So shout out to the guys in the Crumlin Gun Club for providing me with a bunch of really cool stuff that I'm going to keep a secret until we get to that point, but that is going to be integrated into the Precision Rifle Reloading series, where we do some, here's a little hint, we do some tuning on the 6 Creedmoor that we're loading for currently. So very cool stuff. Thank you guys. Thank you for the support. TPM sponsored one of their matches recently, sent up a couple shirts, a bunch of stickers, and of course some business cards. But we like to support anyone that we can. So if you guys have any club matches or anything like that that you'd like to get our sponsorship for, I can't do a whole lot. I'm still a really small company, but I have no issue sending you out a couple t-shirts, a bunch of stickers, maybe a hat or two, something like that to help you guys out and spread the word about the company. So thank you guys for watching. I regret to inform you though that there is not going to be a precision rifle reloading video released this weekend. The shop is far too busy, and I'm going to be pushing probably 12 to 14 hour days for the next 3 or 4 days, trying to catch up with everything and get the products to the customer as fast as I can. So that takes precedence over the YouTube stuff. That being said, I plan on releasing a video hopefully Monday evening. at the very latest Tuesday morning. So these videos take, especially the longer reloading ones, they take several hours. The last video last Saturday was 1 hour and 8 minutes long, and that took right around 6 hours start to finish to shoot, get ready for, edit and upload and do all the other stuff that is necessary to get the videos ready for YouTube. So it's a time-consuming endeavor. I enjoy doing it a lot. I've had a lot of good feedback, and you guys are going to see some other really cool stuff that I'm setting up currently, and it's going to be a secret until it's released, so I think you'll like it. But until then, you guys have a great weekend, and we will see you back Monday or Tuesday with another Precision Rifle Reloading Series video. Until then,